to just stay on track, but I'm a very I'm brand new to this, so I'm I'm learning as we go. But I appreciate you doing this format. I really do.
Well, thank you for sharing and showing your difficult time. Because it's like when we really in the present talk about the past and difficulties and so on. We have the chance to release it um, to make peace with it, right? So it's a welcome. It's a the present moment is it is with us, and hopefully we will get into this happy body that is creating problems for us. It's a great thing, and creating problems. That is really something. Because when we created the happy body, we didn't know that people will need too much uh, attention or too much coaching added to it. And after years, we see that actually it is not different than any sport that when we train, it's difficult and we need coaches. So slowly I started really getting the idea of the stranger in the world, that somehow I have to talk to that stranger that is doing the happy body or tries to do the happy body or did the happy body, and it's very difficult for that one to actually do. So let me see. Let's mute some people because we hear some sounds. So you can watch yourself whether you mute it or not. And if you talk, then you unmute yourself. Otherwise, we hear a lot of people. So this attempt is really to talk to that stranger, and to hear the stranger, and to help that stranger to with physical issues like transparency and the happy body and the exercise and cooking, and also the emotional issues like discourses, to help people to to develop delayed gratification, to uh, have the ideas of no expectations and work in the present moment, embrace that present moment, and then create a progress from whatever it is. And that is that is very difficult thing to do. And like we when we create something, we think that people are like we are, and um, and that is not the way. And in many ways it's we need really help with with the whole strength of to with the following what is in front of us. And if its goodness is there, like the happy body, we still have to engage it, we have to practice it, and we have to fight for it. And if it is also related to the future, it is preventive, it's hard to really imagine and motivate ourselves to live that way of life. So that's why I decided to be on a weekly basis, on daily basis available. I like the daily basis, and we'll see how far we go with that. But so far, I really like talking to you guys. So you talk to me, I talk to you, and if we develop this way of talking and find a way of talking, and keep going that way, maybe we will create a great family. Like a family from Midway. So that's the movie that we watched, right? And Midway is a very interesting movie from the perspective of the wholeness, how the wholeness is working toward one goal. And there are so many great people in the movie, so many people that have courage, and they have calmness, and they have goals and pursue, and and they show up themselves too, even in the most difficult situations, and keep calm themselves at in these moments, like this pilot, that diving with in a plane, to drop the bomb on the airplane, the carrier. It is like watching somebody that has incredible virtues and calmness and self-control. And he was awarded this cross, Navy Cross, and the citation at the end of the movie, there was this citation about him. It said, the citation said, his boldness, determination, and utter disregard of personal safety helped turn the tide of the war in the Pacific. So we have this, incredible human being up there. And, I always thought that, we are against also something that is really hard, and our life and choices we make sometimes is really very hard. That's why we have to live the life that is a life of a master, life of this perfect stoic, like this pilot was, and live the life toward that perfection and on daily basis. So that I think that that's the only way that really we have this a way of becoming a master in life. And the happy body is this way. I see it that it has the goal of independence and becoming a master in the world. You have to really know what is good, what is right, and learn how to choose. Otherwise, you will be completely overwhelmed by talk about the news as well as advertisement, and you will give into it. You will start complaining instead of living the life that you know what you want. And that is the master. You know what you want. When I go to a store, I know what to buy. And I go there and I just buy only those things that I want, and I walk out. And there are really few things that I buy there too. So it's like not really many, but I know, and I will not buy something that is not good for me. So goodness is available, and goodness is possible, but we have to fight for it. It's inconvenient, like I said, right? But we have to fight for it. We have to become a master. Nobody is going to save us. We live in America, we live in the free country, and that's it. So you have to become the master in this country to know and to be responsible for yourself. And if you do, you go on the journey like that, then you will achieve freedom from any kind of messages that would corrupt you and change you. The happy body is an ultimate really goodness from the perspective of the physical body, goodness from perspective of waste and delayed gratification, calmness, and balance. It's goodness. But that goodness, you have to learn how to become it and fight for it. All right, so do you have somebody else to talk?
Hi, Jersey. It's Margaret, and
Margaret?
I'm a 66-year-old Texas girl that's been living in Utah for the last 15 years in Park City. So, and a friend of mine in Northern California mentioned you before your book was published, and you and I talked on the phone. I got the book, I read it, my head exploded. I put it back on the bookshelf,
Hmm.
and then you just kept reappearing.
Wow. Huh.
Okay, and
I didn't know that I reappear.
so
Well,
you
that's
just
actually amazing that, I reappeared.
and so when I got the information for Into the Cave, just so much of the message resonated with me. And at that point, I had not done a single exercise, not one. And if I went through the self-evaluation, I was like, poor on everything except my posture. And I'm very proud that I'm very good on my posture, right? But what I've gathered out of this so far was just pretty much getting myself out of the way to do what I want to do, so that my actions are aligned with what I say I'm interested in. And I've had the gift of good health that's enabled me to take my body for granted. And that will just stop at some point, because I really have embraced this concept of yours micro progressions, but they go in both directions. And the bad direction gains momentum and starts snowballing. Right.
Right.
And so, yeah, I just want to make sure that when I'm 99 years old and want to sign up for a college course, that I'm not walking with a walker to class, right?
Yeah, right.
That I'm just living how I say I want to live. And I think it's time. I've been so in love with my distractions. They really serve me well in many ways, and in other ways they just put blinders on me. So I've been doing a lot of sorting through that. And while I'm not a big structure person, I've always kind of viewed it as somewhat um, oppressive, too rigid, too structured, not spontaneous enough. I don't have to go either no structure or all structure. There's a happy medium for me. So I'm ready to start really embracing the exercises and all of other components of the happy body. So thank you very much. At one
Fantastic.
point, when I was thinking about this, I thought this was kind of like the Princess and the Pea, where I was the princess and you were the pea. And then I thought, no, really, this is the oyster. And through this, you've actually created a pearl. So thank you. And I thank everyone else that's doing the class, because I've gotten so much out of their insights as well.
Thank you. It made me think about, well, sometimes is that the situation that we want something, but it comes with the too much structure, and then or the way how we want to go around that, and we can be irritated that there is structure, or we can be irritated there is no structure, and so on, right? So the happy body really is created to deliver a self-coaching system, mastering that you find yourself inside of that with your way. So there are certain goals up there. So sometimes when I have clients and they talk about that that is too much structure or too much planning, too something. I said, it's not really, that is not necessary. You can adjust that. What is the most important that you actually progress and achieve, right? So you find a way within. If you like to count calories, you count calories. If you don't like to count calories, you don't count calories. But you have to think about yourself that you have something to do there, and you have something goal that you're going. Like you said, at 90, I don't want to walk with a cane and so on. I have to have fantastic, way of living with another 30 years, right? And that can be only better and better and better. If you practice on daily basis, the happy body, it will make you better, right? And also will prevent you from deterioration. So that is a really good thing, but you have to adapt it on a daily basis, fight for it, never, let anybody to take it away from you, because people will do everything that you stop the happy body. It's like people who have this this call, right? Like to stop it. It's amazing how people work on my clients. When they even hear how they work on them, so they don't come here. And it's just like, what's going on, right? Like, hello. It's an amazing thing that we are not comfortable with people that they are getting better. And the research points that majority of people would be better if their friends didn't get better.
So I'm happy to say that that's not my network. I get confused and then caught up with how to be the best, the perfect, the whatever. And having this community, having the daily sessions just allows me to start wrapping my head around it. Because me in the book was overwhelming.
It's a good thing because it kind of replaces the idea of no expectations.
Yes.
So, I say no expectations, but then you have to have this daily way of engagement, right? So that actually coronavirus brought to me, to my attention, that people really need this daily check, talk, and so on. I really don't know where is it going, this, but I thought about that is a good thing. And then I started doing it, and I started liking it. So it's actually because the adversity, because of the challenge and the hardship that was presented, I found a way to talk to you guys on a daily basis. So which is a good thing, and I think it will only get better and better. It will grow, and if it grows, then you will have more possibility to constantly help people with how to become the happy body, how to practice it, how to find yourself in it, because it's like it means so different things for everyone. It's just an amazing thing. When I hear 100 people, everyone will say something different about the happy body. It means always a different thing. So it is a way of living, because if it means something different for everyone, it means it is a way of living. And that way of living is so everywhere and complete, and also the transparent and the extremely physical. It touches the area of food and control yourself, and like nothing else up there. Well, because when you start talking about controlling yourself, everyone runs away. This is forget about it, right? But also, that is the most precious thing that we can have. And then the research points that children that they have, that's pretty good. Children that they have self-control, they are twice as better in school than those that are intelligent. So it's self-control is more important than how intelligent we are. So thank you. Anybody else?
Jersey, I wanted to share something with you. Yesterday, I spent like a full committed 30 minutes doing the whole sequence 1. And what I realized is your system kind of forces your body and your brain to all sort of stay in the game. And like normally when like I exercise, I kind of have said to myself, well, I'm going to go exercise because I want to get out of my head and into my body.
Right.
And the movement has always been about, you know, get out of thinking, just feel. And then I like to push really, really, really hard. And, I just wanted to share that it was just a really different experience to have to really keep my head in the game. And it felt really good and really different. And so I'm just excited to kind of keep working at it and just kind of see what else continues to come up.
Right. We'll talk today. We'll start experiencing some breathing. So I will just go with the breathing, how breathing can help you with irritations in life, and also the breathing within the happy body that you can practice anywhere else. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else there?
I have a question. Wait. I have a question. I'm Janice, and when I stopped doing Happy Body, I went to Courtside, and then I went to Pilates and yoga and all this. And I tried breathing, the Happy Body breathing, and everyone said to me, no, that's not the breathing. And so I was so confused about my breathing. Now I want to come back and do Happy Body breathing and exercises, because after it's all said and done, I think this is the best for me. Yeah. So why would people, our breathing is so different than Pilates. I still take a Pilates online course, and she's breathe in, breathe out. There's no hold. So, so do you have? It's hard to breathe different for different things. I only want really one kind of breath.
Well, the Happy Body is created to not only to grow the muscle, because it has to be interval training system in order to grow the muscle. So that is one way why the breathing is that way, because there is a moment of lifting and there is moment of not lifting, and that breath breaks it. Now, also the whole mindfulness and stress release happens to us when we are calmer. So that breathing helps also to calm the heart. So I ask you, so it is very important, self-control and calming side effects of the Happy Body, that when you breathe that way, you calm yourself down, and also you can make better choices in life. Your strength, that strength to make the right things, override the impulse, it becomes stronger. You have more energy. So yesterday I asked you about writing the activities that really are hard for you, more or less. Now, let's say you can have like something in the body, like being irritated, right? So what to do then, because that leads to something else. So when you recognize that you get irritated, then you start the Happy Body breathing. So let's do that breathing now. So you can inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, take about 3 seconds. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. So for example, now it's already calmer, right? Everybody's calmer. It's just like different. Then when you do this for 5 minutes, it's a lot of calmer. So let's say now the situation we are living today. You're going to the store and there's a line. You could be irritated. You could have a judgment, right? And if you let the judgment ruminate in you, you'll become negative. Instead of that, you start the breathing. Inhale, hold, exhale. Again, inhale. And you see the line. And then exhale. And you start really calming down and adapting to the life that is in front of you. And you will not change, and nobody is going to change. There is no reason to complain. There is no reason to blame anybody for it. But there is a reason to be calm and to add to the goodness of people around. And that you need to switch that brain and learn how to switch, keep switching that brain toward this calm brain, good brain. So then you come out of the car and you keep breathing. Inhale, hold, and you walk and exhale, and you keep breathing these patterns. So you will see that you start calming completely down. You will not be anymore having anxieties and be irritated and respond very fast. You can practice this when you talk to the other person, and then when you have the person that has the tendency to change the subject. So you have the person in front of you that wants to either shine or is irritated because what you are talking about. So when that happens, usually debate happens. We start debating and try to convince each other. So you keep practicing the breath. Inhale, hold. And then the person is talking, and then you exhale. Inhale again, hold, exhale. And you now start analyzing what is the person doing, right? What is that person doing? Is rejecting, your idea, doesn't want to talk about this. Okay, now you can go and fly with the person, whatever he is doing, whatever he wants to do it, but without really, being mean. It means, not being attacking the person. There is, no reason for it. So once you breathe more that way, you create really a lot of calmness, and your response gets better. You are kinder and more good with the response. You're in the traffic is really horrendous traffic. You breathe, right? You inhale, hold, and it's the happy body. You like practicing the happy body in the car, right? And you start practicing. It's meditation. It's the mindfulness practice, right? You practice everywhere, and you learn these breathing patterns. And these breathing patterns that can, calm you down a lot faster if you practice this, months and years, right? It's just like a mantra. You just boom, and you can be really calm. So the practice of this breathing is a way how to get away from, depression, away from anxiety, and get into the present moment. And what happens in that present moment, that embrace that present moment with everything what that present moment is. And as soon as you get into the past and dislike the past, that is going to not to be good. And if you go into the present moment and dislike the present moment, what's going to happen? You start really having really bad thoughts, negative thoughts. Instead of, in the present moment, do something about where you are and how to get better. You can focus on how to be better. It is always, the goodness behind that. There is no use of being, of thinking about the world, that the world is not a good place.
No.
It's a negative thought. It doesn't bring anything.
No,
But
right.
focusing on the present moment and making something, you go into the gym and do the breathing and calm yourself down, you contribute to the better world. You come back to the family and you are kinder, yeah? So use the happy body as a mindfulness for 30, 40 minutes. Focus on this breathing as a primer thing in the happy body, not the lifting as a primer.
Mm.
The whole breathing, inhale, and then flex, lift, stretch, down. The primer is the breathing, not the lifting. The breathing. Feel the breathing, feel the breathing. Calm down the heart and calm down everything, and then become really just embrace this singularity of the brain. Yeah? Stay there in the present. Inhale, stay in the present, right? Flex something, stay in the present, you are flexing. You're lifting, stay with the lifting. Stretching, stay with the stretching, right? Return, stay with the return. And then exhale, stay with the exhale. And again, it's beautiful music. You have to get into that. And when you get into that, there is no end of enjoying that. This is a breathing. And it's so good for us. Also, it creates this goodness in us, this calmness. It helps us in self-control and delay gratification. What a gift, right? What a gift. At the same time, you just practice flexibility, you practice the getting stronger, you practice your micro progression. Wow, right? It's working. And you focus on this day and the next on the day. And then when people talk to you about why is it, what is it that you do? And you say the happy body, and they say, what is it? Then you say, well, I don't know how to tell you about that. There is a book, you can read it, but it's really up to you. I found in it a way of helping myself to improve myself, to get calmer, delay gratification, and control myself and improve my body. And I love all of it. It's happening to me, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't do anything else. If I do something else, I love tango and I go and dance, right?
Tango.
You dance, tango, do something artistic, something, when you don't exercise beyond that, unless it's like skiing, something golf or something like really meaningful thing to do. But don't exercise for just the exercise sake, because it's completely not connected to anything. So it has to be somehow connected to something. Where is it going, right? At least golf is going somewhere because it's an intelligent sport, as well as almost any sport is intelligent. It has this intelligence built how the skill is working with it.
Okay.
Breathing is powerful, and this kind of the happy body breathing is very, very powerful. Today I know told me when Natalie was couldn't fall asleep, she was practicing this breathing, and she would say, "Okay, inhale, hold until 4, count 4, and then exhale." And she said, "Then inhale, hold, now count to 5, and exhale, inhale, and hold until count to 6." And she said when we went like to 9, Natalie was asleep. Now, what a wonderful thing, right?
Yeah.
We are, with the happy body, is very clear. We are helping ourselves to get better. That's all. And, it has to be somehow complete an immune system from everything else, so you can grasp it. It's simple and you can grasp it. And that's why it's there. But the whole thing is there to help us. To help us with this life, like Margaret was talking about, you're 66, okay, you're 66, right? And you will not be 27, but you're 66. But you can be, more youthful when you are 67 and 68 and so on.
Thanks, Jersey.
You're welcome.
I can take myself off.
Okay. Anybody else there?
Could I say something about yesterday's extension of hard choices?
Right.
If I'm not too far off topic. It's Dick from Kamloops in British Columbia, by the way. I changed the stem a little bit to say, I am beginning to believe that hard choices are. And then a number of points. First of all, they are not something that we are used to. They're not really hard. We just aren't brought up this way or used to living this way. And an example came in the news this morning that 1 out of 6 Canadians are outside of their work or home neighborhood, even though we have a no travel order basically across Canada. Anyway, just a small point. Hard choices are really simple choices. Hard choices are a matter of consistency and practice. Hard choices are not the norm in ours and many other cultures. And hard choices are demonstrated by those who do not follow the order, rules, and guidelines put in place for our own protection. And finally, just for you, Jersey, hard choices are easier with a mentor.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
it's easier. Of course, it's easier. Well, my poetry mentor, said, to me about 25 years ago. He said, you go and you go on your own and you study poetry and you write and so on, and it will take you 100 years or 200 years to come to the contemporary level of writing. Why is it so? Because we improve so much. And in every level, we improve so much that we need really teachers and mentors to take us on this kind of a fast journey of improvement. Otherwise, you will never, get there, on your own. Olympic weightlifting is such a, sport that takes a lot of coaches around to create that. And then if you don't have them, you are not going to get there. It's very clear. So the movie, The Way Back, it will be the movie for the tomorrow. And that is the movie about okay. So The Way Back is the movie about a basketball player who loses a child and becomes alcoholic and returns to this high school and teaches this high school kids how to play, how to focus, how to be mindful, how to have integrity, and how to like little things to do more and more and more, and eventually become this team that would never be the team like this without him. That's very clear. And that team, even though he is not there anymore, that team has these qualities of him, and the qualities that would never happen, right, without him. So yes, and the hard choice, to have a mentor and to seek for the mentor is already a great thing. It's already a good thing that happens, to have a mentor. And that's why I really like the Tim Ferriss book, Tribe of Mentors, because it's really a good book to read about mentors. But the most important is just to find a mentor, right? So so this thing that what I do now, that is a kind of a mentoring that could be, it will help the whole Happy Body community to finally connect to it, and to find yourself with it, to embrace it, to become, to be throughout the life. Because we have a lot of our clients that they are already for 20 years and 25 years in the Happy Body, and they are completely connected to it and live that way of life. But to do it on your own, that is really really hard. It's not a hard choice. It's just really hard. And I've never thought about that. It is so hard. So when I started really working with people after the book was published, and then I saw it, how hard it is for people to create the Happy Body for themselves. It is a great thing, but it's really hard too. So you have to have a lot of hard choices to get there, and find the pleasure, and find the breathing, and find the joy, and find the standards and the guidelines and the strategies and your own way in it. And all of it is this journey that you need to be on, and like you would be on a journey of becoming a golfer, or the journey of becoming a philosopher, right? Or a poet. Everywhere is a skill, and everywhere is a craft. So the Happy Body, is the skill, and it's the skill of living, and then there is also craft in it, and then there is philosophy, because it is hard. It's a hard choice here. So it creates, the challenge and an opportunity to become a better person because of it. Because without these hard choices, you cannot really become better. So thank you, Dick.
Thank you. That's great.
Somebody else?
Jersey, may I ask a question? I just saw you were doing the breathing exercise, and you were just going over the first
Yeah, standing tall.
The first series. I'm noticing that every time I try to pick up a heavier weight, I strain one side of my wrist. And I don't know if it's because this is happening at some point. So my question is, when we're coming down, do we come down this way and down, or do we come down this way?
So yeah, you are really this way.
Here?
Yeah, so you're going that way and down. Yes, like that.
I thought it was boom.
So no, you are not like that in this. You are this way and you are that way. So you're never open in this exercise. You keep on that way. So you're open in the rising tower and power tower, but not really here. You keep it that way.
Oh, that makes sense that I'm that I'm hurting my wrist because
Also, don't hurt it. Take lighter weight and don't really stress it too much, because it doesn't like it. You think about the happy body. The body is like, oh, you don't like that one? Okay, I will help you. Lighter weight a little bit, and 2 more weeks, 3 weeks with the lighter weight. You have your life to improve. Think about that. You don't have to go fast. You have like, oh, I have 5 years. In 5 years, I will be awesome. Okay, you have 5 years. So that's a lot of years. And you can be in 5 years that this incredible, incredible body that you cannot even imagine today. But when people look backward, right? When they change a lot, a lot of people just break, they cry when they see where they were. It is so emotional. So keep working on it, and that's it. The one thing that I think that people really need with the Happy Body assurance that it will do that and will deliver, right? And that's why it's a fact. It's not entertainment. It's built for facts. It's built, transparency is built in. So, I am responsible for the numbers. I put the numbers and I am responsible for these numbers. If I created the Happy Body without numbers, then there would not be responsibility, there would be vagueness, and there would be only recommendations. But because it has numbers, it has science, because that's become science. Once the numbers are there, then you know the numbers, and really that anchors you toward the next 5 years, how to create these numbers, because these numbers mean something. These numbers mean very useful, very useful. And if you are 66 like Margaret, very youthful would be like in 5 years, she's 71 and she's very youthful, right? That's what the Happy Body is about.
Sorry, I have one more question, because the more I find myself not listening to a podcast while I'm doing the Happy Body, the more I'm finding different muscles that are working during the exercise. So my other question is, when we're doing the forward bend, are we supposed to feel our lowest abdominal lifting in and up?
No, you feel the hamstrings, only the legs. So when you bow, it's what's that? Something happened.
See your email. I don't know. Exit full screen. Hit exit. Escape. Hit escape. Upper left hand corner.
Doesn't do it.
No.
Okay, stop. All right. Okay, we good now. All right. So when you go down, you have to keep the chest up, all right? And you can the abdomen is flexed, and you completely relax the body so that you feel the hamstring.
Yeah.
You have to really relax. And then when you relax, the hamstrings get longer, the hips are rotating, and you can go down.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go down because the hamstrings getting longer. So how to really relax so much, you have to breathe, like inhale, hold, right? And let it feel the hamstrings. Because in this exercise, you have to be extremely relaxed in the brain and everywhere. And feel the hamstrings, they are stretching, and feel the pain there in the hamstrings a little bit. And then when you feel it, you back up. And then you do, again, the next move. So we'll be talking about this into the cave a lot, about that exercise.
Okay, yeah.
On Monday.
But in the going, I mean, there is okay, Monday. I'll
Well, when we do, these are the hamstrings, right?
Yeah,
So,
but then up here, I do feel the hamstring, but I still want to keep the abdominals engaged, right?
Oh, yes, yeah. You keep it engaged all the time. And then when you go in like that, right? When you're here, then you flex your glutes at the end and you go on your toes.
Yes.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
See,
you.
it's a lot of details.
Yeah, a
And
lot.
at
a
the
lot.
same time, the breathing, right? This
Mhm.
exercise takes a lot of hold on the breath.
Yeah. And
So-
if you don't find the balance right away, then I find myself having to hold the breath a little longer.
Think about this breathing, as also and no noise, because once you have the breathing, you hold, you are able to sense sensitivity increases of the body and sensing what is doing and what, right? How
Yeah.
to sense the hamstrings. A lot of people don't feel the hamstrings at all. So you have to be sensitive. You have to relax a lot and sense hamstrings.
Okay,
And
cool.
then when sensitivity is that, you will be able to do that.
Mhm. And then if we're already like to the floor, then that's when we can increase weight, right? If we're already to the floor.
Right. Yes. And then of course, get stronger. And if you're really perfect in the floor, like hips are really rotating the right way, and you are not bending your lumbar, right?
Mhm.
So you're not bending your spine at all. So
Yeah.
the hips are very flexible. Hamstrings are long, right? You touch the floor.
Yeah.
But that's incredible flexibility.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible, because
Like I noticed doing the happy body, my splits got better. I was like, whoa.
first.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
little splits are not there yet, but side to side, I always had to warm up a lot. And then I like 4 months into the happy body, I was like, whoop.
yeah.
It was cool.
When you touch the floor with perfect back, this way that you will be able to touch the floor this way. But then when you bend your spine, I can put elbows on the ground,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because but with the back this way, that's not really the case. So what stops us is that flexibility of the hip rotation, because once the hip rotate, the body goes more down.
Mhm.
When the hip cannot rotate, and the spine will bend. So that's the compromise.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the hip rotation a lot in the next week. But it will be all physical, all the exercises. We'll talk about exercises.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody
May,
else?
may I quickly ask how this form is? If you would still use a block, or if this is already enough?
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a little bit your action is on the lumbar.
Okay, so
Little bit.
would you still use a block, or would you now go to the floor and
Yeah, you can use the block, or you can go down and sense. If you can arch the body up from the level that you are, it means if you can arch the body, if it's like this and you can arch it up, that it means that you bend it. So to show you is this. If I do something like this, right? And if from this moment, if I can arch myself up, it means that I bend my spine. So you can test yourself that way. So if you go down and you can arch yourself up, it means that you went too far. So you need a block somewhere.
Okay, I don't know if I completely got that.
Well, we'll get it, next week.
Perfect.
We'll
Thank
cover
you.
that. I will be in the gym. All right. Anybody else? All right. Let's get to the homework. Let me see. Okay.
Jersey,
Yes.
real quickly, can you talk about the ratio of the the weights for the different exercises again?
Well, these are the percentages. It's in the book, right? So when you have the first one sets up the 100%. Then when you see 50%, it means half of that.
Okay.
So when you see tapping hammer is 150%, but if you use 10 pounds in the 2 10 pounds dumbbells, because the percentages are dumbbell to dumbbell. So when you have 10 pounds in the standing tall, right? And when you see 150%, then 150 is 15 pounds, but one dumbbell, right? In the,
Okay, got it.
Got it? And when you
Yep.
still 100%, it means 20 pounds, right?
Gotcha. Thank
So
you.
we'll cover that. All right, somebody else? So homework. My plan is then for finishing the hard choices, and then practice breathing, and I find whenever like sensitivity to know that you are irritated are extremely important to know. So when you get irritated, know that you are irritated, and then start breathing to release irritation and capture that, and let's just focus on that only, right, for today. So tomorrow you will share this with us. Just go through the day, and when you are irritated, capture that you were irritated, and start the breathing that nobody knows that you are breathing. You can still talk, and you can breathe meantime. So I can hold my breath, right? And I'm talking, but I'm holding my breath. And then I release the breath, and I inhale, and I can hold the breath, and I can talk. But this way, I will get calmer and calmer. So what happens with me, I get this a physical thing in me that when I get irritated, something I felt inside. And when I do the breathing, it helps me to release that. But it's a
good life skill for right now.
What is it?
It's a good life skill for right now.
Yes, no, it is a good skill for every time, because we are shifting and switching. We can be irritated for big reasons like today, or we can be irritated that somebody didn't deliver a newspaper. So there are so many ways that we waste our time to be irritated, but irritation is a stepping stone to bigger problems. And when we learn to capture this irritation, we have this creating possibility for us to be positive, to do what is right, to control ourselves, to have energy to do what's right. All right. Okay, so let's focus on that. And the movie, The Way Back, to watch.
Did you discuss the movie last night?
Yeah, talk a little bit, right, about the basketball player, right?
No, the movie Midway. Did you talk about Midway before I got here?
Yeah, I talk a little bit about Midway, yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. You can watch it, I guess. Yeah, Midway is.
I will.
It's a family. You see, it gives you this incredible message about how health of the whole family is important. And here is that a lot of people, great people, showed in this movie. Actually, so many great people that actually contributed to the whole. I have a goosebump now, and that's what I have. That's a good thing. How the whole the wholeness was created by a lot of great people, and how that led to actually winning, at Midway. Everybody was important, everybody had the to do something and on a very high level, and to follow through with calmness. You see, people were calm, and people were persistent, and people were skillful. All of it was there, and many characters were like that in the movie. They were extremely high integrity as well. We good? Okay, so well, I will see you tomorrow then. Have fun and practice the breathing as well. Catching that irritation. I want you to really focus on the moment that you are irritated, and catch that moment when you are, because usually in this moment we are not mindful. We lose our awareness, and because of that, that irritation becomes more retaliation to whatever it is, and we become angry, and we become people that we don't want to become. Right?
Jersey, quick question. Is there a statement for hard choices, easy life in the homework?
Yes. So it is about my plan is.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Anybody wants to say something?
Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys. Love you, Jersey.
Oh, love you. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Didn't talk today.
No, I listened. Cleaned my kitchen and listened.
Okay.
Bye, honey.
Bye bye.